What is up, guys? It's your boy, Sick Cacus, and today, having a kid is like living with a biohazard weapon. We are going to be talking about the brand new Bungie Livestream that has just concluded and is previewing Act 2 of Episode 1 Echoes. And guys, oh my goodness, we have some incredibly juicy new weapons, artifact perks, and some buffs and nerfs that you absolutely want to know about, and so let's get started. Now, right off the bat, Bungie announced something very interesting that's happening with the launch of Act 2, which remember is going to be next Tuesday, July 16th. They said that the story beats are all going to be released, and I believe they said this for Act 2 and 3 at once. So, no more weekly story quests in Act 2, guys. You're going to be able to pound through all of the different story quests if you want to in one single day. And they say they're just trying this as an experiment. People have been asking for them to do this for a long time. So if you want to space out those quests, weekly, you can. But again, if you want to binge them, you can as well. So very interesting change there. And moving on from there, we also saw a bunch of gameplay from the new activity arriving in Act 2, which is called Battleground DIVE. And I apologize for the first little bit of gameplay. There's going to be the Twitch emotes spammed everywhere with celebrations. Once people figured out they could do this, obviously everyone was spamming these nonstop, but I quickly figured out how to turn them off. So the rest of the gameplay later on will not have these. But this is kind of interesting because how Bungie described it, like the first few activities in Episode 1 Echoes are going to be kind of discovering what's going on Nessus. Now this is going to be making your way to the center of Nessus, and you will see in the background gameplay, you kind of start out in the same area you had the final story mission for Act 1 in, but you're going to dive deeper and deeper, and eventually you're going to go past where that story mission ended and go even further into Nessus. And then they said there's going to be another one of these Battleground Delve missions launching with the start of Act 2, and that's going to take place from where this mission ends, and then you're going to go even deeper into the very center of Nessus. And then there's going to be a third Delve Battleground activity arriving in Week 2, 1 week after the launch of Act 2. So it does look pretty cool. It's another 3-player activity. They actually did say that the bosses you fight at the end of these activities are going to be very different from the usual bosses where it's, 3 different health gates where you do damage, do some sort of objective, do damage again, do the objective. They said that there's going to be potentially, with one boss, like no immunity phase at all. They said that he has the biggest health pool ever put on a boss. That was said. I don't know whether it was kind of in jest, but definitely going to be interesting to see what these bosses end up being. Now, you've probably noticed within this gameplay a brand new weapon being used. It's going to be the new Solar Rocket Sidearm. Now, they show it off right here, and guys, this is going to be a big deal, and this is where we transition into the new loot showed off within this live stream. So this, as you can see, can get the role of heal clip in the left plus incandescent. I mean, the call is obviously goated. The indebted kindness is amazing. Now you're telling me I can get a rocket sidearm with a heal clip plus incandescent or another damage increasing perk. Yeah, this could end up being the new most used weapon in the entire game. It's going to be craftable again. Like, it is going to be nutty. Now, after that, they actually showed off another new weapon arriving in Act 2, and that is going to be this Heavy Burst Pulse Rifle. And interestingly, as you can see, it can actually get high impact reserves in the left. So in this role, it's actually combined with Volt Shot for even more damage. But yeah, having high impact in the left as like a damage increasing perk in the left, we almost never see that. That's usually reserved for like raid weapons. And I believe this might even be the first time we're seeing that. If not, like it'll be like the second or third time ever we're seeing this. So that is pretty cool as well. And they shouted out that this weapon is good in both PvE and especially PvP. Another weapon they showed off this time is not going to be a craftable Vex weapon, but it's going to be one of the reprised Season of Dawn weapons, the Perfect Paradox. This weapon is yet again a very big deal. Why? Well, its origin trait, Cast No Shadows, says that dealing melee damage will actually reload rounds into the magazine. So it's kind of like a slightly worse version of Grave Robber for free as the origin trait. Guys, this weapon can get 1-2 punch. So getting 1-2 punch on your shotgun and then getting a free Grave Robber kind of in the origin trait, like this could become one of the best shotguns in the game to use with melee builds. Like, oh, I don't know, the Liar's Caliban Prismatic Hunter that's cracked out of its mind. So seriously, this is going to be another very desirable weapon. Now, continuing with very powerful things arriving to the game with Act 2, we actually get an entire new row of seasonal artifact perks, and Bungie specifically said that these are geared around sniper rifles. Like, these are going to boost your sniper rifles, honestly, to the moon. So, first of all, as you can see right here, we are getting Anti-Barrier Sniper Rifle as a perk in the leftmost column. This is crazy, guys. Anytime there is an anti-barrier perk that's for a special weapon, that is a huge deal for your loadout. It means that if you're doing, let's say, a solo Lost Sector or something like that, or a Grandmaster, you don't have to run double primaries to deal with champions. But after that, we have Authorized Mods Scavenger. So this is going to make your Scavenger mods cheaper so you can more readily put them on and keep your sniper rifles fed with ammo. And then after that, guys, this is where things get off the rails, because we have Incendiary Rifle rounds where Solar Sniper Rifle precision hits scorch targets. This is unbelievably powerful because remember, scorch stacks will build and build and build as you get more precision hits. So if you're DPSing a boss with, oh, I don't know, a good solar sniper rifle like the Still Hunt, arguably the best DPS weapon in the entire game right now, you're now going to be inflicting extra scorch damage and also ignition explosions. So literally the best sniper in the game, the Still Hunt, just boosted its DPS even more. Oh my goodness. And it also made every other solar sniper way more powerful. And on top of that, guys, the next perk is Solar Fulmination, where your ignitions do increased damage in an increased radius. So first of all, you could just put this on for your Caliban Hunter and it's going to be broken. But also that means, again, even more damage with your Scorching Igniting Solar Sniper. My goodness. And then if that wasn't good enough, guys, in the very final column, we have Sniper's Meditation, where Sniper Rifle hits grant stacking Sniper Rifle damage, stability, and reload bonuses for a short time. Heavy ammo sniper rifle hits count as more than one. So, guess what else is a solar sniper and is a heavy? The Whisper of the Worm. So your Whisper of the Worm is going to be now causing scorch, causing ignitions that do even more damage, and boosting its own damage. Like, guys, with these seasonal artifact perks, you could potentially be taking down raid bosses faster than ever. Like, honestly, go into King's Fall with a full fire team of Whisper of the Worms, and you're just going to be shredding Oryx with all of this additional damage. Like, it is actually going to be insane. You're going to be shredding the Witness with your Still Hunts now after Act 2 arrives. Like, this is a crazy boost to solar sniper rifles. Now, speaking of sniper rifles, Bungie also then talked at the end of the stream about some of the buffs and nerfs that would be arriving with Act 2. And for snipers, they're actually halving the PvE flinch. So that is one of the biggest problems with using a sniper in PvE. You know, you're taking damage, you're trying to keep your sights on the boss. Now that is going to be literally halved in Act 2. That's going to be crazy. Now, another buff they talked about is for aggressive frame scout rifles. I just made a video on the Time-Worn Wayfarer, and it's a crazy interaction with Heal Clip and how you can go wild with that. Definitely check that out because they're getting a 30% damage buff. So if you crafted a Time-Worn Wayfarer, ya boy, chalk one up for ya boy, because oh my goodness, you are going to be especially rewarded in Act 2 with that 30% PvE damage buff. That's going to be crazy. Now, on top of that, guys, for Titans, they're actually buffing the damage of Twilight Arsenal and solar hammers. So if you are running Twilight Arsenal in your Prismatic Titan, which a lot of people are, it's just going to get straight up better. Now, after that, the Ariana's Vow exotic special hand cannon is getting a big damage buff, so now it's going to be able to break barrier champion shields in just 2 shots going forward. Now, another big change in Act 2 is that they're nerfing rallying with reserves. So in case you don't know, if you're raiding, what you do is you put on a chest piece with a bunch of reserve mods, you rally the flag with that, and then you switch back to your normal chest piece with the damage resist mods, and you keep the massive amount of reserve ammo you get from the reserve chest piece. Well, that's not going to work. Now when you switch chest pieces, your ammo will go back down. But to counteract for this, they said they're going to be buffing weapon reserves across the board by around 10 to 15%. So you're now going to have just more reserve ammo all the time. And if you do want to use a reserve chest piece, you're going to have even more reserve ammo on top of that. In addition, they're going to be lowering the cost of reserve chest mods down to 2. And they said that with the seasonal artifact mod that lowers them even more, they're actually going to cost 0. So they're going to be a lot easier to incorporate into your builds moving forward. Now for PvP, they are going to be addressing the absolute powerhouse that is the Prismatic Hunter by nerfing Swarm Grenades and Threaded Spectre. And then guys, moving on from there, the last thing we're going to talk about is that the new armor sets for Solstice of Heroes were also shown off. So remember, Solstice of Heroes is going to arrive kind of midway through Act 2 on August 6th. And here's what the new armor set is going to look like for the Warlock. So the theme is kind of like old-timey explorers. Honestly, I think it looks pretty sick. Then we have the armor set for the Titan showcased right here, and again, looks pretty sick. Lastly, we have the Hunter armor set showcased right here. Now again, these are going to maybe look a little bit different when they actually arrive to the game, but this will give you a good idea for those Solstice armor sets arriving with the launch of Solstice, again, August 6th. And so guys, that's it for the video. Hope you enjoyed and found this informative. If you did, please remember to help me out by simply rating and especially sharing this video. If you guys want to see more Destiny 2 content similar to this, don't be afraid to slap that subscribe button. If you want to get in touch with me and keep up to date with the latest channel activity, the best way is to follow me on Twitter at RickCacus, that is linked in the description down below. Again, I hope you enjoyed the video, and as always, have a good day.